welcome. Good afternoon or good morning, depending on where in the world you are. I'm not sure exactly where you're dialing in from, but here in Accra, it's 11 a.m., and I'm very honored to have you all join for Africa at Scale 2020. I welcome you on behalf of Africa Foresight Group, but also our partner organizations, which are DEG, CDC Group, AFCA, and Harambeans. My name is Yasmin, and I'm going to be very brief now because we have an honorable guest waiting for us. That honorable guest is nobody less than Mr. Aliko Dangote. And I would like to welcome Mr. Aliko Dangote warmly to join us now for us to have our first session so that we can make use of his time well.
Thank you very much. I'm already on. I've joined.
Hi, Alaji. I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing very well, thank you. And you?
I'm doing very well as well. We appreciate that you decided to join us. I know how busy you are.
Yes, I had to join because, you have really impressed us. You've done very well, Yasmin, and it's always a great pleasure to support you.
Oh, that is so kind. I have to be very honest with you that when I heard back from your team that you are joining, I was nearly in tears because I have to tell you that you are one of the main reasons why we are here where we are today, and that is why we invited you to join us to receive an award. And Alaji, I would like to say a few words to you and present the award to you. It's going to be a little bit different from what it would usually be because we can't all be together. But I would also like to keep it brief because I know that a lot of people are excited to hear your wisdom for a few minutes before you have to go, Alaji.
Okay, thank you very much. That would be great.
So Alaji, the last time we met was in 2017. And since then, a lot of things have changed. But Africa Foresight Group, the logo behind me, is the company that we've been building since then. And I have to say that you are one of the main reasons we started building it. And
That's very good.
the first time we met was in 2015, where you came to Oxford. And we hosted you to have a conversation about the truth of doing business in Africa. I'm sure it's now maybe a bit blurry in your memory because there were probably a lot of things that happened since then. But back then, I was very inspired by your honesty, your humility, and your perseverance. And then I started thinking, maybe it would be good if I tried to do what Alaji is doing, to build a business instead of just sitting in a company doing my daily work. So it inspired me to start Africa Foresight Group in 2016. And Africa Foresight Group, if you want to put it in a nutshell, is a network of more than now 100 problem solvers across Africa that are trying to build more African businesses into businesses like yours, multi-billion-dollar companies that can really move the needle when it comes to putting Africa onto the global map.
Okay.
And we have come a long way, but what particularly inspired me after I met you in Oxford was when, coincidentally, they sent me back to you a year later. So I've been coming to you with awards for a while now. But in 2016, we came to your office to present an award on behalf of the Harambeans Entrepreneur Alliance. And I had a chance to peek in your office and saw that you have a simple, beautiful office with a beautiful little sign on it that says, "Nothing is impossible."
It's impossible. Yeah.
Exactly. And when I saw it, I asked you, I don't know if you remember, but I asked you why you have it there and what it means to you. And then you responded to me that it is a very simple motto, but it's what's been driving you for more than 20 years. And that really sat and stuck with me. And it then also stuck with all of our team members, our foresighters, which are our consultants, my management team colleagues. We have a value that is called, "We never give up," which is our translation of "nothing is impossible." So you've really inspired us to try and go higher. So when we started to decide that we would like to start an award series for the Global Champion Award, it was very clear that it could only go to you. Because, of course, on the one hand, you are a global champion. You are the global champion. With what you've built with Dangote Group, operating in dozens of countries, building a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate, and building reputation for Africans across the world. I know that a lot of people admire you for your wealth and your influence and power. Certainly I do that too, but I admire you even more for the simplicity, the humility, the perseverance, and the efficient decision-making that you stand for. And it's something that we really wanted to capture when we start this award series by setting the tone, what kind of businesses we want to recognize with it. So the inaugural Global Champions Award had to go to Alaji. And I'm very excited you took the time to receive it from us. Now, we couldn't bring it to your house, obviously, but I have two colleagues from our company in Lagos, Christine and Phil, who are now going to hold it up so that you can at least see the award. The award is with them in Lagos. It's a bit hard to see because it's transparent, but if you look very closely, you will see that it says nothing is impossible at the bottom, because it's the core of what inspires us so much about you. And Christine and Phil are very excited that they have the role to play of showing the award to you because they're equally inspired by it.
Thank you very much.
So, Alaji, I would like to honor you with this award on behalf of Africa Foresight Group. Thank you for the inspiration you've given to us to thrive and build this company. And hopefully you will deliver on the promise to build more Dangote groups with your inspiration. I would like to let you say a few words if you would like, because I've now been talking and you're the more important person here.
No, I think, well, thank you very much, Yasmin. I mean, it's been really a great pleasure, to be here with you today. I remember really when we met at Oxford and also at my office. And like what I keep telling you, yes, it's true. Nothing is impossible. Because I remember when you look at it, exactly 20 years ago was the time that we started cement business. And in that 20 years, we started from importation, zero. Nigeria was actually producing just about 2 million tons at that time. And when you look at it, there was no infrastructure to import the cement. Cement prices, you have to pay and wait for 3 months or so before you can get delivery. And when we checked, all over Africa was the case. The prices were very high, at about $200 and something at that time, based on the exchange rate. And then we decided, with the current president at that time, like what I said, to see how do we make it available. Because cement is very key. It is key to infrastructure. And if there's no infrastructure, there's no growth. Sure. So what we did was actually say, okay, fine, in a nutshell, how do we just make Nigeria at that time self-sufficient? So, we just went up and started building a plant, which was 5 million tons at that time, the largest at that time in Africa. We were lucky we completed it in 2000, and we started 2004, and we completed it in 2007. And then from there, things start to get better, because that fear of us competing with the multinationals, the likes of Lafarge, Blue Cycle, Holcim, all of them, it was actually removed from our minds. Then we believed that, yes, but what did we do that we got it right? What we did that we got it right was actually, first of all, we know we'll be challenged based on quality and also service, then pricing. And we were right from the beginning ready for that. We came out with the best quality of cement in Africa, the best service as a company, and also the best affordable prices. So when you look at it from Nigeria, when we start making Nigeria self-sufficient, we now expanded to about other 14 African countries. And most of the countries that we have actually expanded into, they will tell you that, yes, we've been able to bring sanity into their markets. The availability is now there. Pricing is excellent. Pricing is good. But having achieved all this in cement, then now we started looking at other areas. You see, because one thing that I believe in is that if we Africans don't participate in growing our economies, nobody will do it for us. You know, you look at Asia, for example. Asia wasn't done by the Americans, it was done by Asians. But the biggest challenge is for us to have confidence in our own economies. If we have confidence in our own economy, then we can do much better. We can now encourage other people to come into our own economy by seeing what we have done. So I think, Yasmin, what you are doing at Africa at scale is something that you can bring people to understand what is being done. I mean, you know, today, like what I said, the sky is the limit. We are doing total of about $20 billion worth of projects to make sure we make not only Nigeria, Africa available. I mean, we make things available to Africa like fertilizer, which we are commissioning right now. It is going to be 3 million tons. 3 million tons can satisfy most of African countries. And it's the second largest plant after COPCO in Qatar. We're also doing a refinery with petrochemicals. The refinery is about 650,000 barrels, which is 1/3 of Nigeria's production as we speak today. And hopefully by end of next year, because of COVID, we're supposed to have commissioned end of this year, but we have a delay right now because during COVID, most of our workers, they left, you know, because of this safety, social distancing. But we've started bringing people back. We have about 23,000 people now back at site. And hopefully in the next 2 months, we'll be able to increase more number of people. So with that, you can see it will actually take us to the next level. Why is it going to take us to the next level? Because at the moment, we have a company that has only just over, because of the valuations, just over $4 billion, about $4.5 billion in revenue. But by the time we finish all our projects, our company will be around 25 to 27 billion in terms of revenue. So, which means we'll upscale to the next level and will now become much more of a global brand. And I think a lot of African companies, they can copy with what we have done. I mean, it's doable. It's not something that is hard, but you know, you just have to have a focus. You have to know what you are doing. You must do business that you do understand fully well. And that's why we've been successful in our cement businesses in other African countries, because we know the business in and out. You know, the most dangerous thing for an entrepreneur is for you to get into a business that you don't understand at all. So I think we have done extremely very well. And I believe other African companies, they can see what we have done and they can copy from there, you know, maybe in other sectors. But yes, we need to make Africa self-sufficient first before we start jumping to other continents. I hope this is enough because I don't want to take much of your time. But
oh, you're not. I hope I'm not taking too much of yours. I'm nodding yes, and inspired.
Some of the people that you have really, you know, maybe when this COVID, you know, 19 settles a bit, I would like to invite you to the refinery and the petrochemical complex so that you can have a look, and then we can have an interacting session with you, you know, which is very, very important, and that we can actually show you how Africa can be transformed. You see, we can do it all, but there are a lot of other African companies, also a lot of other Africans that are scared of investing their money back at home. And I think they need to remove that fear from their minds, you know, and make sure that we participate in building a very strong, reliable, prosperous Africa.
Thank you, Alhaji. This is so inspiring, and I'm very excited about the invitation. You can be sure that we will be there. But you've also said so many important things. First of all, $27 billion in revenue as you expand will make Dangote Group one of the biggest companies in the world, which is something
yes,
that I
definitely
think
will be among the, you know, will be almost, I mean, if you rate that, even Coca-Cola is about just, which is number 100, is about $30 billion.
Wow.
So I'm sure we're inching up, and I think we should be able to achieve that going forward, you know, maybe in the next 4 or 5 years.
We will overtake them. I need to ask one question if you still have time, because you said so many things. I could ask for hours now, but I know you are busy. So one thing that you said is that we need to have more confidence in our economies. And I
Yes.
think that a question mark for many right now is, of course, because of COVID, but even before, what's the one thing we need to achieve that? Because what you have done was decades of hard work. And you said that other people could copy it, yes. But in order to do that, they need to have the confidence that it's going to work. And that's what you just talked about. So what's the one thing you would advise African businesses in order to chart that path? Where do they start?
Well, the African businesses, they can. First of all, it's the enabling environment where the government policies matter quite a lot. Government, they have to see business as a partnership where they can support. You see, because when you grow big, government shouldn't be involved in businesses. Government should wait for people to make money and let them pay their taxes. And, you know, in America, if you look at it, for example, America, they've been able to do their, you know, they are now almost like number 1 or number 2 in the world in terms of oil production.
Yeah.
Where when you look at where they are coming from 10 years ago, they are almost at nothing. But you see, today, American government does not own one single block of oil, not one. But you know, what they rely on are the taxes that they tax these same entrepreneurs that have risked their capital. You know, so government shouldn't actually be a stumbling block. Government should open up. They should support all the entrepreneurs and just make sure that there's a level playing field. And with that, I believe, you know, things can be, you know, they can be done. And also, like what I said, we as Africans, we can't go and do it better anywhere than here. So we should try and open up and, you know, rely on that government policy. It's not going to be a somersaulting policy where when somebody sees that you are making money, it's going to now change the goalpost. Once these are taken care of, I'm sure we will be able to achieve a lot.
You said that you think that we need to focus on our home market in Africa because there's so much to do and this is where we can do well. But do you also think that there's a point where our companies, your company, given how far you've come, will become global players that operate across the world? And what does it take to get there?
Yeah, well, definitely, yes. I mean, we'll continue to grow the African, you know, space because there's a lot of need and it is a growing market. Everybody, even the foreign companies that are there, they're also going to start targeting Africa because the population of Africa is going to be almost like, you know, third after, you know, India, China. You know, it will be the African continent. So when you look at this, you now say, okay, fine, so what do we actually do? Do we now concentrate only in Africa? No, we don't have to concentrate in Africa. We shouldn't actually. We should diversify, just in case. You know, no matter how good a business is, anything can go wrong. So the diversification in terms of geographical spread is extremely very good. I mean, like us now, what we're planning on doing, we're planning on going into, you know, other sectors, especially in US, in Europe and Asia. And that will start, but after this, our refinery. But we're that big. That's why we're actually thinking about now going globally. You can't just concentrate only in African continent. You also should try and make sure that you fully diversify your business by going outside the continent, you know, just in case. You know, we also have our own challenges in, you know, Africa, but the challenges, they can actually be managed, but then diversification is also very, very important, both in terms of business and also in terms of geographical spread.
Thank you for sharing that. And as you know, I'm half German, so once you're ready to go to Germany, I will personally make sure that Dangote Group becomes the biggest player in Germany in any sector you plan to be in.
We will definitely. We will do that.
Can I ask you one last question before you have to go? Okay. So obviously, Corona and 2020 has changed a lot of people's plans. And I think the big thing that most people talk about is that buzzword, resilience. How can we be resilient How can we survive this? But I would like to also know from you, aside from making sure that you are a resilient business group, do you see any opportunities arising from the current crisis or pandemic?
Yeah, there are quite a lot of opportunities in terms of business expansion. This is a new reality, it's a new life, and that's what we all have to adjust to. And we have fully, adjusted to this. I mean, we've had a bit of disruptions. The disruptions that we've had during the lockdown of March and April, we were really, we really had a very big hit. Big hit in the sense that, our companies couldn't operate, because we have factories and we have to be very, very careful. We have to follow the government regulations of safety first and make sure that all our people are safe. And when you look at that, as we speak today, not only in Nigeria, in all our operations, we are doing better than last year.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, we're doing better than last year. Luckily, we touched wood because of the areas that we're participating in, foods, cement. The only area where we took a big hit are the projects, because, projects is a mixture of locals and also foreigners. So a lot of people had to run for safety, because of this COVID. People didn't really understand how, it was. But with that, when you look at it, it will really help in terms of, other opportunities. We've seen that there are a lot of other areas that we should have participated in, in technology space, which we are not in. And so going forward, if we are not that late, we will also get into that technology space, because things are changing, in the entire world. So we'll look at those other opportunities.
Well, nothing is impossible, and I don't think it's ever too late. And I think what you shared with us is a very positive-minded point of view that we can actually try and, of course, be resilient in this crisis, but at the same time also use it as an opportunity to step back and decide what else can we look at so that whenever else such a crisis happens, we are more diversified and we're in the right sectors. So I think that's an important piece of wisdom to change the course of the COVID-19 resilience conversation into a direction that is as constructive as possible.
Yes, definitely.
Alhaji, I know you're so busy. I hope that one day I can come to your office for a whole day and ask you questions. I'm sure sometime in the future, maybe we'll have the chance. But I would like to once again thank you for inspiring us with your motto, nothing is impossible. We will keep reciting it throughout our conference, and we would like to thank you for your time. And Alhaji, with that, I'll leave it to you to say any last words that you would like to say before you hop off this call.
Well, first of all, Yasmin, I would like to thank you once again for the award and also for inviting me to speak at this, at-scale event. You are really very correct. We as Dangote, I think we deserve this, but, we can't take it for granted. We have to really thank you and your team for, having it, given to us. I mean, we really, really, truly appreciate what you have done. I would like to also encourage you to keep going and also keep striving to do your best. And you can always, you are on the right path for sure. You can always count on my support, not only on my personal support, of my company's, or my group of companies' support. You can always call on me to talk to you and make sure that I give you more encouragement to do more. And I'm very, very proud to associate with you. So thank you very much, and I wish you all the very best.
Thank you. I'm also so proud, and I'm so grateful. Thank you, and I wish you a great rest of your day. We appreciate you, Alhaji.
Thank you. So feel free to get in touch, at any time. You want me to have a chat with some people that you want to motivate, you can always count on my support.
Wow, that's amazing. That's the best way to start this conference. Thank you, Alhaji.
Thank you, Yasmin, and I wish you all the very best.
Thank you. Goodbye, Alhaji.
Good. So please stay focused, because young people are our hope in Africa, and Africa needs you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We will. You have our promise.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, live with us for the last 20 minutes. I don't have a timekeeper, but I think it was 20 minutes. We are very excited that Aliko Dangote was able to join us. As you all know, he's a very important and busy man, but for us it was important to set the tone for this conference. Because the tone of this conference is that the question how African businesses can scale is not an option, it's a necessity. And with or without COVID-19, it's something that we have to think about. Because if our businesses don't scale, we will not have enough jobs. We will not build a continent for African youth that they can be proud of. And we will never be able to make our economies more resilient because they need a strong backbone. And that strong backbone have to be scaled businesses that are diversified and can survive shocks, be it COVID-19 or any other shocks. So this conference is really supposed to help build this narrative, and I'm excited that over the next 2 days we'll have the chance to really unpack that. Aliko Dangote has just told us a lot of exciting thoughts that we can further dive into over the next 2 days. From how we need to think about our continent when it comes to being confident about it, to really practical things about diversification, how to think about expansion. So I'm excited that you're all here to be through this program with us. And I would briefly like to explain a few things to you about how the conference will work. So the first thing is that you hopefully all have a smartphone. And I have already seen that the smartphone users have downloaded our conference app, Africa at Scale. You can just look for Africa at Scale on your App Store for iPhones or your Play Store for Android phones and download it if you haven't done so. This app is supposed to be the home of this conference. This app is going to help us to network and get to know each other, to be a community. On the attendees submenu that you see in the main home tab, you can see a list of all the people that are part of this gathering. We are about 300 people from all corners of the continent and also from the development partners, CDC Group, DEG, that have decided to join in for this event. So please make sure you go through it and connect with people. One thing that is so sad about COVID-19 is that we can't connect the way we normally do. We can't meet the way we normally do. So we invite you to use technology to be able to do it. The conference app also has a tab called Community Wall. Once you're on the home menu and swipe left, you will see that there's a community wall in the top row. The community wall is where you can have open conversations with the entire community of this conference. I have already posted this morning when we were prepping. You can see a backstage photo there if you wonder how our studio looks. So I've already posted that there, but the community wall is also going to be where you'll be able to ask questions during sessions that have a Q&A coming with them, which is going to be most of our sessions. So please make sure you have the app because it's going to make this conference experience a lot more exciting and add to your networking opportunities during this event. The other thing I would like to highlight is that we have a 2-day agenda. It's 2 half days because we know that these days being online the whole day can be tiring, but it's 2 days packed with really, really exciting speakers. And I would briefly like to give you an overview, if you haven't seen the program yet, where you can find it and what we have up for you for today. So for today, day 1 of this conference, we have now honored Aliko Dangote as a global champion and heard from him. The next speaker up is going to be also a very prominent speaker, Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, the former Vice President for Africa of the World Bank. She is going to talk about firmly holding our place in the world as Africans. And I'm so excited that she's giving this talk because it's really going to elaborate more on what I think Alhaji just spoke about, being confident about ourselves. There will be a chance to ask questions during this session, and we're looking forward to her keynote speech. Afterwards, you see that there are 2 things in the program that talk about hidden champions. Hidden champions is a term that you might wonder a little bit what it means. Hidden champions for us are companies in Africa that are quietly and silently doing very, very well and building a big, big footprint in their home markets and sometimes also elsewhere. We are launching an initiative to profile and publicize the stories of such hidden champions, and you can learn more about this initiative in our session at 1:45 p.m. UK time. Immediately after this launch, you also have the chance to meet a few more companies that we think are hidden champions. We have one company from Zambia and one company from Sudan, represented by their CEOs, talking to Franziska Hallmann from DEG about their story. We also want to give a chance to young entrepreneurs. We have a focus on big, advanced businesses at this conference, but there are also the young entrepreneurs who are building the big champions of tomorrow. So in our Meeting Emerging Champions network chat, you will have the chance to engage with these entrepreneurs through the conference app and get to know them better. There are also videos you can watch about what they're doing. In the later part of the conference program, we'll talk about technology, something Dangote also just mentioned to be very, very important. So we have three really, really strong leaders from the technology and investment sector joining us to discuss what it means to really build the nexus between technology but also traditional business sectors, which are still very important in Africa. Afterwards, we're also very excited to welcome the Chief Human Resources Officer of Safaricom, a business that has come a long way to become one of the biggest champion businesses in Africa, to learn about how he thinks about human capital championship. So, full program for today. We hope you're looking forward to it. And stay tuned for the next session with Dr. Obi Ezekwesili at 12:45 UK time. Thank you for joining us.